when to her utter amazement, she saw Mr. Darcy walk into the room. After a silence of several minutes, he came towards her in an agitated manner, and thus began. "In vain have I struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." Elizabeth's astonishment was beyond expression. She stared, doubted, and was silent. This he considered sufficient encouragement, and the avowal of all that he had felt, and had long felt for her, immediately followed. He spoke well, but there were feelings besides those of the heart to be detailed, and he was not more eloquent on the subject of tenderness and of pride. His sense of her inferiority was dwelt on with a warmth which seemed due to the consequence he was wounding, but was very unlikely to recommend his suit. In spite of her deeply rooted dislike, she could not be insensible to the compliment of such a man's affection, and though her intentions did not vary for an instant, she was at first sorry for the pain he was to receive, till roused to resentment by his secret language, she lost all compassion in anger. She tried, however, to compose herself, to answer him with patience when he should have done. He concluded with representing to her the strength of that attachment which, in spite of all his endeavors, he had found impossible to conquer, and with expressing his hope that it would now be rewarded by the acceptance of her hand. She could easily see that he had no doubt of a favorable answer. Such a circumstance could only exasperate further, and when he ceased, the color rose into her cheeks. In such cases as this, it is, I believe, the established mode to express a sense of obligation for the sentiments about. However unequally they may be returned. And if I could feel gratitude, I would now thank you, but I cannot. I have never desired your good opinion, and you have certainly bestowed it most unwillingly. I am sorry to have occasion paid to anyone. It has been most unconsciously done, and I hope will be of short duration. The feelings which you tell me have long prevented the acknowledgement of your regard can have little difficulty in overcoming it after this explanation. Mr. Darcy, with his eyes fixed on her face, seemed to catch her words with no less resentment than surprise. He was struggling for the appearance of composure, and would not open his lips till he believed himself to have attained it. And this is all the reply to which I have the honor of expecting. I might perhaps wish to be informed why, with so little endeavor at civility, I am thus rejected, but it is of small importance. I might as well inquire why was so evident a design of offending and insulting me. You chose to tell me that you liked me, against your will, against your reason, and even against your character. Was not this some excuse for incivility, if I was uncivil? Had not my own feelings decided against you, had they been indifferent, or had they even been favorable? Do you think that any consideration would tempt me to accept the man who has been the means of ruining, perhaps forever, the happiness of a most beloved sister? I have every reason in the world to think ill of you. You dare not, you cannot deny that you have been the principal, if not the only means of dividing them from each other, and involving them both in misery of the acutest kind. She paused, and saw with no slight indignation that he was listening with an air which proved him wholly unmoved by any feelings of remorse. He even looked at her with a smile of affected incredulity. "Can you deny that you have done it?" "I have no wish of denying that I did